Stapakaya Chadhamasya Sarvadharmasvarupine Stapakaya Chadhamasya Sarvadharmasvarupine Avatar Varishtaya Ramakrishna Te Namah Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityormamritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God incarnate. Let us pray to Him to remove all ignorance which is causing never-ending troubles in our life. Let us pray to Him to conquer death. If we become fearless, we conquer death. To be fearless, that is the way to reach the goal. The incarnations come again and again to lead the humanity towards the reality. People suffer because they don't try to find out the cause of suffering, so they come to a helpless state. So the Supreme Paramatman, the creator of the whole universe, He embodies Himself. He just takes the human form to help the people to get rid of suffering. Buddha is one such great spiritual masters of the world. If we read his life, it gives us lot of inspiration and hope. How he was completely selfless. How he preached the highest philosophy. If we go through his life, we find how he was very sympathetic towards all the beings, including the animals. So love found its maximum expression in Buddha's life. His whole life was full of love and love only. He gave that love to everyone, whether good or bad, a sinner or a saint. His love would always go to everyone. And whoever comes to him would be blessed with peace and joy. Even the greatest dacoit of the time, whose name was a terror to the whole country. Angulimala, how he got completely transformed by the presence of Lord Buddha. Buddha is a great person, an ideal karma yogi who worked incessantly without any stop, but worked without any motive. Worked throughout his life for raising the humanity to give peace and joy to the people, to show the way to peace and harmony. So Buddha is even today source of great inspiration to all of us. He possessed the greatest combination of heart and brain. In the words of Swami Vivekananda, Buddha is the first great reformer the world has seen. He gave a good turn to the people. He impressed on the people to shun violence, not to hate one another, but to cherish love towards one and all. His life teaches man how to be free from the bondage of fear. We are constantly surrounded by fear. Some sort of fear is sitting on us all the time. All the time. Fear of disease, fear of losing beauty, fear of old age, and fear of death. So, there is no wonder why we are suffering. As long as the fear is there is no way to get out of suffering. Fear itself is a suffering. So to be fearless, you have to come to spirituality. You have to come to Vedanta. You have to come to spiritual masters. They only can teach fearlessness. How? By their own life. The ideal through their life. So what we find in this world, whether rich or poor, whether prince or a beggar, everyone is subject to fear. Fear, fear, fear. So, if we analyze it, we come to the conclusion that this fear, the worst enemy of man, it follows us like a shadow. So our struggle to herald victory over fear is what is called religion. Religion should teach us to be fearless. That is the real religion. Gautam struggled very hard to fight to finish this fear, and in that process he was crowned with success finally. He attained nirvana, absolute freedom. When he attained that highest state of nirvana, what we call in Vedanta samadhi, Gautam became Buddha, fully awakened to the reality. That's the meaning of Buddha, to be awakened. So when he got that experience, he was blessed with immense joy, immense peace, transcending all fear. That is the sign of a realized person. That is a characteristic of a realized person. Absolutely fearless, well established in peace. So what we find in Buddha is that with him, religion was not a matter of faith or belief, it was being and becoming. It was a great transformation from a worldly person into a spiritually enlightened one. Gautam the prince became Gautama the Buddha, the light of the world. So, his life demonstrates to the world that the religion is the philosopher's stone which makes a god of man to rise from human tendency to divine. From animal, one can rise to become human. From human, he can rise to become divine. So we have taken this human life to become divine. Not to degrade ourselves to animal kingdom, but to rise ourselves to human, from human level to divine status. Buddha had tremendous scientific attitude. He neither declared anything to be bad, nor did he accept anything to be good without experiment. He would tell his disciples even not to accept his own words without trial. Even Sri Ramakrishna's life we find the same thing. Sri Ramakrishna would tell his disciples, you must test the spiritual teacher as a moneylender tests the coin, as gold is tested by the fire. So Buddha would say, do not believe in traditions merely because they have been handed down for many generations and in many places. Do not believe anything because it is rumored and spoken of by many. Do not believe because the writings of some old sage is produced. Don't simply try to swallow the things as they come. Try to reason out, convince yourself, and then establish on the firm foundation of truth. So thus we find Buddha bold and rational in his approach to religion. Some people are prone to think that there is no place for reason in religion. For many people, religion is a matter of faith. They become dogmatic. Buddha's life and teachings provide a befitting reply to such misconceptions of people. In the life and teachings of Buddha, there is no place for mere philosophical speculation. If you read his teachings carefully, you find how they are very simple, how they are very plain and direct. Somebody asked him a question, whether the soul exists or not. People keep on asking this question, even if it is answered. Again they will come and ask. Because unless you probe yourself and try to achieve the goal, you will be always in that doubt. Even if I say, yes, it is like this, you will not believe it. Time has to come. You will have to have maturity of the mind. You will have to pass through the fire of experience, fire ordeal of experience. Then only probably you may open your eyes. Even then you may not be sure. Some people, they may even be burnt out by sufferings. They might not learn at all. Anyway, when this question was asked, Buddha answered by posing a counter question. He said, look, suppose a man is struck by a poison arrow. What will he do then? Will he try to pull the arrow out first and dress the wound? The immediate action which is to be done? Or will he speculate about who is the maker of this arrow, how did the arrow come, etc., etc.? Likewise, according to Buddha, there is no time for man to waste in the settlement of such philosophical disputes as whether the soul exists or not, he would dwell upon the ground reality. What I am seeing now in this world, let me go from there. Instead of simply imagining all sorts of things. So what he found out, by seeing the world, which everybody can see in the same way as Buddha did, he said, this world is full of misery. Everybody approves it, whether he believes in God or not, whether he believes in the existence of soul or not. This point everybody agrees. What is that? The world is full of misery. Sarvam dukkham dukkham. So our first and foremost duty is how to stop this misery, how to get rid of this misery. Getting rid of this misery is what is called salvation. How to work it out diligently. Here is a problem. Problem is found out. It has been diagnosed. We are suffering from misery. That is the disease. Misery is the disease we are suffering from. Now apply the medicine, take the treatment. What is the use of simply weeping over? Why there is a lot of misery in this world? Why? It is because, again Buddha says, Sarvam anityam anityam. This world is unreal, unreal. Because it is constantly changing. Every moment, every fraction of a moment it is changing. Continuously it is going on changing. How can you call it real? Anything that is unreal cannot give us peace, cannot give us happiness. So Buddha set the wheel of dharma in motion at Sarnath. Thereafter he was proceeding towards a town. It's called Urvel. When he was going towards that town, on his way he met a group of picnickers. About 30 people were there. They all had come with their wives. One of them, it so happened, had no wife. So what did he do? He brought a woman with him. Just to have the satisfaction he had, one companion. Otherwise, he can't enjoy the picnic properly. So, he came with that woman, not knowing her nature. What did she do? She ran away with all their belongings. The young man became worried, became very anxious. He set out for searching where she might have gone. So he was searching here and there. Then he came across Buddha and he inquired about him, whether he saw such a woman on his way. Then Buddha replied, it's very significant. What do you think, my boy? Which were better for you, to seek for the woman or to seek for the self? This was the question Buddha asked, not only of that young man but of the world at large. What's the use of searching like that? Running after that which is evanescent, could one ever be happy in the world? No. It only brings more misery in its train. So, Buddha exhorts us not to run after the chimera of this world. So he preached the theory of dukkha, that is misery. And this misery may be considered to be a monolithic pillar on which rests the entire philosophical structure of Buddha's teachings. Hence one may be inclined to think that Buddha was a pessimist. But A little thought would reveal that Buddha was not a pessimist at all. In fact, he was an idealist of idealists. He was not satisfied with just finding out that this world was full of misery. He made probe into it. He analyzed the nature of it, and then he discovered the cause and the way leading to its cessation. Buddha said, misery is, it has its cause and cessation. And there is a way leading to its cessation. How to stop it? Then Buddha shows the way. There are 4 noble truths, and the eightfold noble path is the way which leads man beyond the pale of misery. When a man goes beyond misery by treading the noble path, he attains the state of Buddhahood. Everyone is entitled to be awakened. But you have to go in that path. Going in a wrong path, if you say, no, I could not find my way, surely you will not find a way. If you go in a wrong way, how can you find the correct path? So, attainment of Buddhahood is a state. There lies the success of life. So, Buddhahood is the summum bonum of human aspiration. If one really wants peace, one has to strive for the attainment of this Buddhahood, the state of the awakened one. So Buddha is telling the first step would be we should refrain from living in a world of illusions. He does not force anyone to give up his desires. Even if a person says you may not be able to do it, it's not so easy as we say. He only points out law. What is that? If we take to desiring for pleasure, we must take what goes with it, pain and problems. Have it. You want to have 100 desires? Have 100 pains, 100 problems. Good. Enjoy both. A question may be asked, how can one live and function without the motivations or pleasure, existence and prosperity? How to survive? We can't really live without happiness or without working for attaining happiness. We are all directly or indirectly trying to be happy. Buddha teaches us to aspire for the highest happiness. There is happiness and happiness. Go for the supreme type of happiness. That is the experience of nirvana. Experience of truth. Experience of the reality. Experiencing the real happiness. So Buddha wants us to live, to work for it. We must not lose sight of the goal. The goal is we are searching for the real happiness. Where to find? How to find? What are the ways? So we must be very determined in working out. Otherwise, the world eats us up somewhere on the way. We will be duped by the world and we will not even know that we are duped. That's how people are being duped by the world so many ways. So, Buddha prescribes clear-cut paths, clear-cut ways. He prescribes eightfold noble paths to achieve nirvana. One is right views, second, right resolve, third, right speech, fourth, right conduct, five, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and finally, right meditation. These are the 8 noble paths given by Lord Buddha. We have to follow these disciplines if you want to really have real happiness. Now, what is the meaning of right views? The right views, in effect, means knowledge of the 4 noble truths. They are, the first noble truth is, life in the world is full of suffering. If you know it, then it's easy to tackle it. Secondly, there is a cause for this suffering. We must admit cause and effect. As long as we are in this realm of the world, you can't escape the wheel of cause and effect. As you sow, so you reap. Great law. Thirdly, it is possible to stop suffering. And finally, that there is a path which leads to cessation of suffering. So all these constitute right views. The first noble path which Buddha has prescribed. Right resolve means firm determination to reform life in the light of truth. There should not be any vacillation. Keep on changing. Today you are going in one way, tomorrow you are going in another way, third day going some other way. Then you reach nowhere. So right resolve, determination, sthirata, that's very important, steadiness. Thirdly, right speech will be the first fruit of right resolve, which will enable us to control our speech. Why Buddha is emphasizing on this value of right speech? Because when we open our mouth, we commit all sorts of things. We create enemies. Friends become enemies. We lose all control about what we say, what we talk about. There's a tendency to lie, to slander, to use harsh words, and to engage oneself in frivolous talks. All these bad effects. So how to be careful? Always be watchful about what you are talking about. Then right conduct. Not only it means abstention from wrong action, it includes what is known as Panchashil. What are these Panchashil? One is desisting from killing. Stop killing. In this creation, every creature has its right to live on. Don't kill. Secondly, stealing. Thirdly, sensuality. Fourth, lying. And last, intoxications. All these things we have to be careful. That is, one has to be well established in character to experience the real happiness in life, to experience real peace and joy in life. Character formation is very essential. Right livelihood means maintaining life by honest and unreproachable means, avoiding forbidden means. It's very important. The same thing Lord Krishna has said in the Gita, the same idea. Ihante kama bhogartham anyayena artha sanchayam. In order to satisfy their never-ending desires, they try to earn money by improper means. They don't hesitate to commit any crime if that could satisfy their desire. So that's the warning Lord Krishna gives there. How we ourselves allow ourselves to become demons. We lose all our human qualities. So naturally we become terrible to the society, to the whole humanity. Right effort is constant endeavor to maintain moral progress by banishing evil thoughts and entertaining good ones. You must always try to feel what type of thoughts are being followed in the mind. What activities we do every day in the life, they get into the mind in the form of thoughts. After some time they jump up and show up in our mind in various ways. Right mindfulness is constant remembrance of the perishable nature of things. This is necessary for keeping off attachments to things and grief over their loss. Right meditation is concentration through 4 stages that leads to the attainment of nirvana. The result of unhampered concentration on truth is perfect insight or wisdom, to which the riddle of existence stands clearly revealed once for all. Ignorance and desire are cut at their roots, and thus the source of misery vanishes. Perfect wisdom, perfect goodness and perfect equanimity, complete relief from suffering are simultaneously attained in nirvana. Nirvana means complete dissolution of all problems. When the last fires of desire are put out, man loses his small self and is immersed into the universal self. Just as the dewdrop slips into the shining ocean. The problem of the dewdrop is solved or dissolved only when it slips into the shining ocean. There is no use in staying small and fighting the implications of smallness, pettiness. Why refuse being great and suffer the inevitable pangs of smallness? Before achieving nirvana, one should have to remove the personal evils inherent in him. He must change the gravity of life from pleasure seeking to truth seeking. Buddha elaborates a method for removal of personal evils. He said, people become bad by 10 things, and by avoiding 10 things they become good. To be good or to be good is in your own hands. You do not have to depend on God for that. You have to depend on your own self. If you are not willing to improve your life, if you do not want to go in the right direction, what God can do? Tell me that. What God can do? Even if God comes, we may refuse to see Him. God should fix up an appointment with us. The modern age is full of these things, we want pre-arranged appointments. Even God should fix up an appointment. So Buddha is telling us, everything is in our own self. There are 3 evils of the body, 4 evils of the tongue, 3 evils of the mind, total 10. What are the 3 evils of the body? Murder, theft, adultery. Each one you can elaborate, we can speak hours together. But how true it is. The evils of the tongue, lying, slandering, abusing, idle talking. These are all various shades of evils of the tongue. Try to practice silence a bit. Consciously, you must try. You may say, no, Swamiji, yesterday I slept for 9 hours. So 9 hours I was in silence. Not that type of silence. Consciously practicing silence. With your eyes open. With your mind open. With all your senses active. You are silent. That's the beauty of silence. For many people it is very difficult to understand the value of silence. They want noise. They want to be in the noise and they want to die in noise. At the same time they want happiness. I don't know. Probably their happiness means God should keep them always in noise. They will be happy. The evils of the mind, covetousness, hatred, and error. After mentioning these 10 evils of the body, 10 evils the person committing, then he gives the list of 10 evils to be avoided. One positive approach and then negative. Both. He is giving both. What are the 10 evils to be avoided? Kill not, but have regard for life. Life, have regard, have reverence. Why do you waste it in indulging in all dirty things? Why do you make the life cheap and without value? Secondly, steal not, neither do ye rob, but help everybody to be the master of the fruits of his labor. Thirdly, abstain from impurity and lead a life of chastity. At least the idea of purity. Cherishing noble ideas in the mind. Remembering God, remembering good things. Always trying to help and serve others. These are the ways to maintain chastity. Fourth, lie not, but be truthful. Don't kill your personality for the sake of some monetary benefits. Don't kill yourself for the sake of temporary joy. Speak the truth with discretion, fearlessly, and in a loving heart. Then, invent not evil reports. Do not be over anxious to hear about rumors. Look for the good side of the people. Always try to Look on the good side. That's the way to peace. Swear not, but speak decently and with dignity. Waste not the time with gossip, but speak to the purpose or keep silence. Covet not, nor envy, but rejoice at the fortunes of other people. Cleanse your heart of malice and cherish no hatred, not even against your enemies. Embrace everyone with kindness. Lastly, free your mind of ignorance and be anxious to learn the truth, especially in the one thing that is needed, lest you fall a prey to skepticism or to errors. Skepticism will make you indifferent, and errors will lead you astray, so that you shall not find the noble eightfold path that leads to eternal life. In order to practice removal of personal evils, we can't stay away from society. You can't run away to the forest. Nowadays it is very difficult even to find the forest. We may honestly try to avoid these 10 evils, but we have to live in an interdependent world. The world around us may hinder or help us in our efforts to remove these evils. Even this will be determined not according to stars, but by how we behave in the world. We have to know specifically how we can turn the world to be our helpers in our good effort. We can make best use of the world and rise ourselves from human to divine. On the other hand, we can make the bad use of the world and become demons, lose all human dignity. Both are in our hands. World is presented to us. God has given all these things and freedom. If you know how to use it properly, you enjoy the life. To know how to use it properly, you have to come to spiritual masters like Buddha, Sri Ramakrishna, Lord Christ. The only way of doing it is to function in a way conducive to peace and harmony in the world. The state of the world in which we live affects us, our individual and personal lives. Again, our individual state of consciousness, thoughts and actions shape the state of the world in which we have to live. According to Buddha, peace and harmony are not the outcome of certain measures we may adopt, but that of the state of consciousness from which we function in the world. Now again, Buddha teaches that there are 6 states of consciousness which are conducive to peace and harmony. All his teachings are clearly specified, exactly how it is to be done, how we should move about, etc. Being in themselves friendly and respectful, these states of consciousness lead to accord, amity and love. What are these 6 states of consciousness? First comes the state of consciousness represented by thoughts of goodwill, sincerely harbored. Second, words of goodwill, sincerely spoken. Third, acts of goodwill toward fellow beings. Fourth, sharing with others of all that we have down to the last crumb of bread. Fifth, sharing with others your higher life of flawless virtue. Sixth, removing all evil around oneself with the noble saving creed of love. Buddha points out that these 6 states of consciousness, when cultivated properly, not only lead to unity, harmony and peace, but to super knowledge. Very important teaching in Buddha's life. We find he has summed up all his teachings, as it were, with emphasis on one particular factor. That which is most needed is a loving heart. Loving heart. We need know how to cultivate this loving heart. Such a heart can be cultivated only in a special mental climate, a peaceful disposition and goodwill toward all beings, when habituated deliberately, will gradually transform our unloving heart into a loving heart. Once that is done, then you will experience immense peace and immense joy. With these words I conclude my talk today. Thank you. Sahana bhavato sahanau bhunakto sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamasto ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. May the Divine Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we work in harmony with great vigor. May our study be illuminating and fruitful. May we not hate each other. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.